All right, we're back. It's episode 17, Better Life with Jake and Paul. I'm Jake. That's Paul, and we're here to talk about shit. Paul, let's get started. What's new? What's new in the world?
What's new is, we had a week off. We had Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if you spent it like I did, but spent it around a lot of grills.
I spent it in Arizona away from grills because it's very hot there. I went to a Diamondbacks game. My girlfriend brought me to a Diamondbacks game, and we met up with some old friends, Mitch, and yeah, it was great. It was good shit. And then we went off-roading for my, on Memorial Day was my birthday. Literally the day of Memorial Day was my birthday, so we went off-roading, took some side-by-sides, and ripped through the desert for a while. Got real fucking dirty. And, yeah, then we came back and fucked like rabbits. And,
My God. My God. It's a good start to this podcast here.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, so to totally sidetrack off that, I probably, had a more American Memorial Day where I've got this scale, right? Mm-hmm. And, I weigh myself every day. And after 2 days of eating, I gained 7.5 pounds. So we're gonna have to work that one off.
Proud.
Yep.
I'm proud. Well,
Maybe you sweated on some sports gambling.
Did you watch any fights?
There were none other than the Haney fight, Devin Haney versus Linares, and that was a really interesting fight for a lot of boxing hardcores. Not a lot of people watched it, but for the people that love like the smaller weight classes, it was really interesting.
Why? What happened? I didn't watch it.
So you've got this kind of triangle with Teofimo Lopez, and then you have Vasily Lomachenko, and then you've got Haney. But then you've also kind of got Gervonta in the mix. Gervonta's a little heavier, but, they could move up. You could make that fight work. And Haney looked really good for 10 rounds. He had a really good jab, like excellent hooks. Like he's a problem for a lot of guys. But he didn't really have that cardio aspect. Like he got warned by the ref for clinching. You never really want to see your like pay-per-view superstar, getting warned for stalling.
What does it mean by clinching? What does that mean?
Oh, he was like, there are a lot of times where you can kind of, grapple, you can lean forward, and you can do all that stuff. But he was like leaning forward at the hips and like walking forward to like stall the fight and like grab up at the ropes.
I gotcha.
And you never want to see that with your superstar.
Yeah, no, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, and you've got everyone from Ryan Garcia all the way up to Teofimo saying, like, let's do it.
Well, that's in the past now, so let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, so we do have some fights coming up. We've got a whole UFC card this weekend, and of course we've got the main event, the people's main event. Floyd and Logan Paul, but we're gonna save that.
It's what the public wants. We want blood. We want blood. We want the Coliseum days back.
Oh, I mean, at this point, I want to see Jake Paul versus a bear, the Khabib bear. That bear that Khabib was grappling as a kid. That's the boxing match I need.
I don't know. I want to see. Well, what if Khabib comes back and just beats the fucking shit out of Jake Paul?
Oh my gosh, so that's like touching on something that drives me nuts about this whole like circus show boxing that we're doing now. Is we got Khabib's manager saying like Khabib turned down $100 million to box Floyd, and that's how much retirement means to Khabib. And it's like, okay, I get it, but like, what is $100 million? It's not $100 million and 3 cents. Like there wasn't like a hot dog sold that like bumps that up. It was like $100 million. That's it. Sign on the dotted line. That's how this game's work. But it's not. Like anyone who knows anything about how contracts are made or how those giant contracts are done, it's all on pay-per-view sales. You all get percentages. Like there's just no way that they're like, yep, boom, signed, sealed, delivered, 100 mil.
We're gonna give you $100 million today. Like what is he, Joe Rogan?
Yeah, right. Like it's so crazy. I hate seeing all that, but get ready. We had Michael Bisping come out and say, "Oh, I turned down $500,000 to fight Jake Paul," and Tyron Woodley's like, "Oh, I've got $1 million guaranteed to fight Jake Paul." So
who's guaranteeing it?
So between all, the thing that Woodley said actually makes a little bit more sense because they're doing a media tour.
What does it mean guarantee? Like who's guaranteeing the funds though?
I'm not exactly sure, but between like a portion of the pay per view, between the hot dogs sold in the stands, the popcorn sold in the stands, the tickets, and this media tour that they're doing, I guess that makes more sense to me. But yeah, that's what he said. Is between by the end of the day, he should have 7 figures guaranteed. Which whatever.
Whatever. We should get 7 figures guaranteed. Who can we talk to?
Well, it makes sense to have like $1 million payday and then like Habib's $100 million payday.
Yeah, 100 mil is quite a bit of money.
Well, you just can't convince me that. I mean, Connor walked away with 30, or I think it was 30 mil from the Floyd fight,
Yeah,
and that was like bananas.
that's a shitload. Yeah, 100 mil is so much money. I don't think people understand. Yeah, it's because we're just throwing fucking dollar signs around these days for everything. No one really like when people are talking about like like for instance when we passed like the COVID relief and it's like 1.9 trillion dollars. What is $1 trillion? Does anyone even know? Like, do you know what a billion looks like? Let alone a trillion. Like Jesus Christ, I don't think people understand how big these figures are.
Yeah, right. And I'm not even going to pretend to know,
No, of
especially
course
when like
not.
we live in a world where ransomware people can get paid 75 Bitcoin and change the oil price across this country
Dude,
overnight.
speaking of ransomware, that and another company just got hit with ransomware. A health company. I think it might be Anthem, but I'm not sure. But someone just got hit with a pretty bad malware, and yeah, that should be fun to level that one out.
Yeah, but
Meanwhile, I'm over
yeah,
here just trying to set up my computer to get shit running, and I'm like, malware, great. Well, if I ever get hit with malware, this show is over. There's no way I can afford to fucking fuck up my computer.
oh yeah, I mean this is we're holding this thing up with bubble gum and duct tape.
Oh, look at you with your soda,
Yeah,
soda spritzer or whatever
yes.
the hell it's called.
I've got 3 of these in the
The
fridge.
soda stream,
Yes,
the steam stream, whatever the hell it's called. Fucking put some bubbles in your shit.
exactly.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean going back, we've got some UFC fights.
yeah, yeah. Here, let me pull that shit up real quick. I'm surprised I haven't yet. I'm kind of a ditz.
Well, I can start off. So
Yeah,
the headliner is Rosenstrike versus Augusto Sakai, and
Sakai.
these guys are kind of fighting for the Overeem consolation prize.
Right.
Both these guys, like Rosenstrike won against Overeem, but it was like with 10 seconds left, and a lot of people don't really consider that a win. And Sakai kind of got rounded out in the fifth
Right.
round.
Right.
So if you look at the style, I guess Sakai's got better volume, but this is really Rosenstrike's time to shine. Like there are some like you see it in hockey, you see it in all sports where like that number on the record actually means more to a person's career than that 1 or 0.
Yeah.
This is one of those things for Rosenstrike. The guy was the boogeyman in the division for a long time, and now he's got 2 lackluster losses in a
Yeah.
row. We're like, all right, are you the boogeyman? Well, here's Sakai, the guy that's going to let you land all the punches on him.
Well, I mean, can you still call yourself the boogeyman after you beat Sakai? I mean, what if Sakai wins this anyway? Then what?
Well, if Sakai wins it, then he's definitely going to jump into like that kind of top 5, top 10 part of heavyweight,
Right.
which is really chock full of dudes right now. Um, But yeah, I'm not willing to say that he's in the top 3. So you've got who in the is top at heavyweight. You've got John Jones, you've got Stipe, you have Ngannou, the champion, obviously, and then Volkov is sneaky, and then Gan, and then Volkov and Gan are scheduled to fight each other, I believe, and that's going to be
When's that?
huge that's a big #1 contender fight. And I think that's in August.
Okay. First of all, UFC 264 is going to be pretty bananas. I'm just looking at the card here. First, we have a fucking. Hold up. What's Fight Night's coming up too? When is that? That's in 2 nights. Glendale, Arizona. They're getting UFC 263.
Yeah, Adesanya and Vettori, the rematch, the night of rematches,
And
actually.
then July 10th. It's coming up, man. It's coming up. Poirier versus McGregor.
That's the big one.
It's coming, man. It's coming. I'm actually excited. What's the difference between fight night and like getting your own like 263, 262? Like, what's the
Oh, it's just if it's on pay-per-view or not.
Oh, so pay-per-view is the numbered and fight night is just regular?
Yeah, so I mean, and then fight nights get broken up whether it's on ESPN or ABC. So it'll be like UFC on ABC2 or something.
I get you. Speaking of pay-per-view, guess who just had his pay-per-view?
Oh, that guy over there.
This guy right here. I did. I don't know if we talked about it. I'm sure we have, but I would like to talk about it again because I am excited about it. And if you missed it, you can still watch it. JakeRiderComedy.com/tour. It's the event is still up. It's got a little line through the date because you can't come to it anymore because it happened already. But you can still buy tickets there and get like you click on buy tickets and you can buy the pay-per-view through there. I should just change it to like I should get like a rentals tab on my website and then you can do that. You know that should probably be the move. But dude, that's a lot of work, man. So much work to do all this. God, I'm on my own over here. I'm planning a fucking tour. By the way, I'm planning a tour. 12 legs.
Yeah, I saw it on scratch paper. I think you sent me a picture
Yep.
or whatever. I'm like, geez, that's a lot of planning. It's like every other day you got to be somewhere else.
Yep, almost every day actually. And you have to be in a different state half the time, so you just have to fucking just take off and go. Yep, it'll be exciting.
Well, yeah, I mean, where are you headed? Is it just a Southwest tour?
Can't
That's
tell.
kind of the locations
No,
I was seeing.
Whole United States and then 5 Canadian cities.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Pretty much except for Florida. I don't have a show in Florida because no one really from Florida listens to my shit, so I didn't really figure it'd be worth stopping there.
Oh, so that's how you based all the locations?
Oh yeah. Based on like where the downloads are coming from, who's bought the pay-per-view, shit like that. I just kind of look at where more fan bases and then go there.
Okay, anything you want to say on it? Are you doing like a...
Can't yet.
Are you going with it? Oh, nothing? Okay.
I can't talk about it too much yet just because the person I'm planning it with also doesn't want me to talk about it too much, but as soon as I have...
so it's not a solo thing, it's a group thing?
Well, there's gonna be... it's just me as the comedian doing my thing, but there's gonna like when I go to a town, there'll be like a local opener or like a local MC or something like that instead of carrying one with me. 'Cause I truthfully am not big enough to rent a van and do all that yet. Like I'm just kind of on the road by myself with my cat, and yeah, so you know, I forgot what I was talking about. Weed's a son of a bitch.
Well, what we can do to fuel that tour is some parlay wins this weekend because I think it's going to be a good weekend for us.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be.
Yeah, well, especially, it's going to be tough, especially for the listeners, because I'm going to be so wishy-washy on the heavyweights, but I've got some good feelings on, like, the Baeza-Pons fight, but, yeah, I mean, I think I touched, on the headliner a little bit. I don't necessarily know the odds of it. I can check those out right now.
Damn you, my book.
Yeah, Rosenstrike's at -130, just Sakai's +160, and I would probably avoid that at all costs. I would also avoid the co-main of Harris and Tybura. I think both those guys are on weird trajectories. However, I do like Baeza at -180.
So
I think
yeah.
10-0, and he's going to come in and against Ponzinibbio, who's had a really rough rash of injuries. He had a bout with COVID that was pretty public. Thought he would never fight again, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if there's right off the top, I think the parlay for this weekend is Baeza, Breeze, and Amir Khani. I think that's the parlay.
Well, let me go ahead and I'm pulling up my bookie right now. It just took me. I had to select all the fucking traffic lights to get by the verification. It took me a second. Man, you ever get those when you're when it's verify and you got to click on all the squares and then it's nope, sorry, you missed one, and you got to start over, and by the time you're done, it's no, you can't get in. You're probably a robot. It's fuck, but it's me. I'm right here. I don't know what to do.
I clicked all the stop signs.
Jesus.
But yeah, this is a weird card because you look at the prelims, right? And this is another one of those cards that starts early. It starts, I know, in Central Time. It starts at 6 o'clock, which is nice. Gets your night done early. But Yeah, you look at early on the prelims, you got Sean Woodson versus Yusuf Zalal, and it's minus 200 on Woodson. That's a total landmine. And you've got Alan Patrick at plus 230 to this Mason Jones cat, and that's like probably avoid that one too. Trinaldo going up to welterweight. Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely avoid that one.
Montana De La Rosa.
I do like De La Rosa. I think she's got a good path to victory. But if there was if you had a track record of just betting every plus 150 female fighter, like just every underdog women, you'd probably be going positive right now.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, not too much. I don't think you'd be like kicking ass, but
No, yeah, it's just tough. Like you see these kind of 11-6. I mean, that's the record. Montana De La Rosa is 11-6, and you've got Lipsky who's at 13-6, and you've got a classic kind of grappler versus striker kind of matchup.
right.
But the one that I'm really interested in, this is like the Reddit fans' dream, right? And that's Alir Latifi versus Tanner Boser.
Yep.
Big man with a beard, and Latifi's a guy could, I don't know, he looks like he should be a strong man, like lifting boulders.
Pulling train cars and shit.
Yeah, like all those things are like, is there oil in there when they like throw those giant canisters or whatever? But yeah, Latifi, he's doing this heavyweight experiment, and I get it. He's 37, I believe, but he's moving up in weight, and it's a pretty good strategy in terms of aging athletes at that weight class to move up. But yeah, he lost to Derek Lewis somewhat competitively. Some guys thought that he won that fight if you were crazy. But yeah, I saw some guys in the media who were like, Latifi won that fight, and you're like, what are you talking about? But I think he's got a very clear path to beat Boser, and it's at that plus 180 where it's like you're just licking your chops. You're like, oh man, this is the parlay starter.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one. Like you're watching it at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're like, woohoo, it's gonna be a good night.
Dude, I'm excited for the Sakai fight. To be honest with you, I'm excited. These are gonna be fun.
Yeah, well, it's just like there are a lot of heavy dudes on this card, man. There are some very, very heavy guys. Like that cage floor is gonna be rattling.
Okay, who do you think takes it? And how many rounds?
I think it's definitely going to be over 3. I don't know what the over-under is set at, whether it's 2.5 or 3.5.
Over-under is 1.5.
Oh my gosh, you take the over all day.
Over is minus 195. It's better. Taking the over is a better idea right now.
Yeah, you take the over 100%. The thing is, it's the moment for Rosenstrike. Like, this guy has to solidify that he belongs in the top 5. And Sakai is the dude that's knocking, but just not quite there. He has some deficiencies in his grappling. I just don't. It's these guys are 2 strikers. Yeah. And we're going to see what that actually means. And a lot of people look at Rosenstrike getting knocked out in 20 seconds by Francis. And they're like, oh, look at his chin. Look at this. I'm like, who doesn't get knocked out by Francis? Like, it's just so crazy. Like, you watch that fight, he just wings 3 punches at Francis while bobbing his head. So he dodges the first 2 punches, throws 3, they miss all 5 punches collectively, and then Francis just lands the one on the button.
Yeah.
And that was just how the fight went.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if Rosenstrike stood his ground, threw an overhand, and knocked out Francis, it would be like the heavyweight division would be so much different.
Well, I just think that I think that people were way over. What's the word I'm looking for? Putting too much emphasis on him getting knocked out the one time by Francis, as compared to just his overall career. I mean, Jesus Christ, it'd suck if like you have one bad fight and then your whole I got knocked out in 25 seconds. So I mean, it's a pretty big deal. Okay, what about every other motherfucking fight that this dude's been in? And he's just been pummeling bitches. It's not. Yeah.
Fighting is such a what have you done for me lately sport.
Yeah. Oh, they're like cats, dude. What'd you do to me? What'd you do for me today?
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, that's why you look at this line with Tom Breeze and Antonio Arroyo. And Arroyo was last seen losing to Duran Win, which is, like, unspeakable.
Right.
Like, how do you lose to that guy? But, no offense to Duran Win, wrestling coach in California. But, Tom Breeze, he was a guy who, had a split decision with Sean Strickland. We've won a ton of money on Sean Strickland on this show. That dude can box his ass off.
That's true.
And, those guys beat the life out of each other a few years ago. And Tom Breeze, the line's a little inflated at minus 220, but it really should be like minus 400. It's like that's how confident I am in Breeze.
Good. Well, if you're that confident, then fuck, we'll put money on him.
Yeah, I like Breeze. I really like Breeze. I think Baeza is going to scare a lot of people because Ponzinibbio is a guy. He's really fast. He's got a good jab. He's really long. But I think Baeza, by the second round, is really going to work Ponzinibbio. Like I think he's got a good hard jab. The guy doesn't like to lose. He's never lost. And Ponzinibbio is a guy where you look at his wins and they're kind of cheesy. Like anyone who's like a big MMA fan knows exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I get what you mean.
Well, it's just eye pokes and stuff, dude.
No, we haven't talked about yet, to be honest with you. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind.
Oh, you're not going to ask me what the cheese is about?
No, that's not what I was going to say. Well, what I was going to say was I'm looking at a fight here that it looks like it's just a possible fight, but Amanda Nunes versus Clarissa Shields.
Stop it.
That's right here. I'm reading it. It looks like a man.
No. Nunes is fighting Juliana Pena.
Yeah, why is it saying this?
Because that's like the holy grail, right? Like at one time it was Fedor versus Brock Lesnar, and then it was Ronda versus Cyborg, and like you've got these giant crossover fights that everyone wants, but they're just. Clarissa Shields is in Professional Fighters League, and she's got her debut in I think 2 weeks time.
Okay.
I think.
Wait,
but like if it's an MMA fight, it won't even be close. Nunes would take her down and smash her. Like it would not be close.
Wait, so in the PF, she has her debut in the PFL, or she has her debut in the UFC?
PFL.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are 2 girls in the PFL right now. You've got Kayla Harris and Clarissa Shields, and one's like the Olympic judo. She's like Ronda 3.0.
Yeah.
Like if you just skipped Ronda 2.0 and went to Ronda 3.0, like that's Kayla. And she's just smashing girls. And she like went out and smashed that her last opponent in like 1 round. It was terrifying. And Clarissa's Olympic. I think she actually won the Olympic gold twice. I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, she's got bricks for hands. And we'll see what she can do.
Well, I think here's the deal. First of all, I want to talk. Remind me. We got to talk about bare knuckle in a little bit here. Remind me about that. But the PFL. First of all, because these are things I haven't asked before. Are their gloves different weight than the UFC, or is it the same weight?
It's the same 4 ounces.
Okay, so what's the?
I think they have a different design.
Okay, what are the differences mostly between, like, let's say you're from the PFL and you're going to the UFC. What are you going to notice besides just the skill level? It's obviously an up. It's like going from the AHL to the NHL. But like, what else are you going to see? Like, is that different shape in the ring? Gloves different?
Yeah, it's a circular ring.
Okay.
So that's the big one. Maybe there might be a little more curl in the gloves. The UFC gloves are notoriously like flat with the leather that they use for whatever reason. I don't know. I haven't used a PFL glove. I haven't really seen them. But yeah, that circular ring's got to be weird. But I'm sure veterans of Bellator are probably more okay with it, and I'm sure it's not that big of a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the PFL, they've got an interesting thing going on right now because we just saw their kind of debacle with Fabricio Werdum, which is like, oh man, this is gonna take me a long time to explain.
Just give us the short run.
So Werdum lost by knockout.
Okay.
They go to the cameras and it looks like this guy tapped. They go to the commission, they overrule it in no contest. I'm of the opinion it's a Brazilian tap, which is like you tap once, like you do the 1, and then you see if the guy lets up, which Fabricio did, and then got KO'd. But that's like really normal. Like usually the tap's like tap, 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 tap,
Yeah.
Like you don't do the 1 over, but I can't believe the commission bought it and it got overruled to a no contest.
Well, that's drama.
So they do a whole media thing where they do the rematch. It's like, oh, there's going to be an instant rematch. Well, psych, they send him the contract for the guy who won the $1 million last year, and Fabricio's out on injury.
Shut the fuck up.
So, yeah, Fabricio's out on injury. He can't do the rematch, and they're just going to throw him to the guy who won the tournament last year. And it's like, that's matchmaking.
That's bullshit.
I mean, the guy, at the end of the day, it's a tournament. You only have so many people. There really was only like a 1 in 4 chance that it, it wouldn't be that guy. But
Still crazy.
yeah, well, it's just crazy that we're doomed still in the tournament, and it's just a no contest. Neither guy got points in their bracket.
God damn.
But yeah, the guy's making a serious stink about it.
Jesus Christ. Well, that's ridiculous. So, I want to talk about bare knuckle, dude. Because I feel like we have not talked about it that much.
What about it? I mean, it's kind of the ceremonious end to many MMA fighters' careers.
So, what I'm looking at here, first of all, I'm on their website, right? Because that's just where I go. And it looks like you have to have a chest tattoo to participate in this league. It looks like it's the requirement to be in bare knuckle. Gosh. You have to be, you have to have a chest tattoo. And, hello, can I help you?
I haven't seen that requirement necessarily.
Sorry.
The cat's walking across.
All right.
Yeah, I've got a cat here who also wants to jump across the laptop too.
So, because I'm just wondering, like, how the hell did this get sanctioned?
What, cats on the podcast?
No, fuck you. The bare knuckle fighting.
I mean, for the first few matchups in the BKFC, they were held in Florida.
What does that mean?
And even the bare knuckle MMA, Game Bred MMA, which is Jorge Masvidal's thing.
Yeah.
That's in Florida.
So why does that matter?
I mean, it's like, do we have to get into Florida, man?
No, is that like the only state that allows it or some shit, or what?
I think it's probably the easiest.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But, yeah, they've got Knight, I believe, versus Felony Bennett. Charles Crazy Horse Bennett, as some fans might know him. And that's a very confusing headliner for your first fight.
So, because I've never actually watched a bare knuckle fight. These dudes are literally out there just like this, and they're just punching the shit out of each other?
No, so they have hand wraps in the bare knuckle league. They have gloves, but the gloves are open across the knuckles.
Okay.
So if you strike, you'll hit the knuckles, but like the front knuckles and then the back have a glove on it, and then you have hand wraps so you don't sprain your wrist.
I was gonna say, fuck man, is this a street fight out there? Like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, it's ugly. And like they've got a tiny circular ring, and yeah.
Alright, kitty, I love you, but I gotta do this. Alright, sorry about my cat, everyone.
But yeah, it's definitely weird to see dudes transitioning over to bare knuckle. I mean, good on them if they can get paychecks. But, they had the Jason Knight versus Artem Lobov fight, and my God, that was terrifying.
Dude, I was looking at highlights on YouTube, and it's just like I'm just like right now I am, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think Bigfoot Silva's over there too. It's definitely not where you want to be in the end of your career.
It's ridiculous. It's too much, man. I can't. It's almost too much for me to watch this.
Yeah. Well, we've solidified on the show that boxing is the best base for MMA.
I just can't believe these dudes are just I'm watching these guys. First of all, because I don't see the wraps like you're talking about. Their hands are wide open on the fronts of their palms too, man. Holy shit.
Well, yeah. It's not like you wrap the entire.
I know. I guess I had a different idea. Holy shit.
Well, besides you live reacting, we have Amir Khani, who we mentioned briefly, but that guy gave up, I think, 2 years of his MMA career to go into a boxing circuit. He did, essentially the Golden Gloves of Finland. His nickname is Mr. Finland, but, Finnish Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
And he's come back, and it was kind of funny because he comes out, and he's his record is, 2-3 or something. He did not do amazing.
Yeah.
Right, like you're expecting. And, he, came back and he was like, I've been emulating McGregor. I've been doing all this stuff. He just gets, totally destroyed in his fight back. But, I I like the guy that understands his deficiencies and kind of works at them. It's just kind of tough to watch that live, like in motion.
Right.
Sometimes. But he's taking on this Kirk fellow who was taking the fight on short notice. And what's crazy is if you look at this dude's record, right? I think he took the fight like on 2 weeks' notice, but he actually has a registered fight from like 2 weeks ago.
I get you.
Yeah, which is insane. Yeah, May 14th. So yeah, he had a fight 2 weeks ago at lightweight, and he's going to cut down
He's going
10
to take
pounds to featherweight.
Jesus, titty fucking Christ. Are you serious?
Yeah, so he's gonna cut down to featherweight.
I don't mean to be that guy, but he's like giving himself such a disadvantage doing this.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the guy was like an LFA. I think he's LFA champ. Like, so the UFC, like for this event, they really scalped the LFA. Like they went, which is one of their feeder leagues.
Yeah.
But I think they're bringing up 3 guys from the LFA to compete.
What does L stand for in the LFA?
Legacy fighting. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely like this is the way that I look at these type of cards. It's like who's going to be on the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Right. Like we're talking about like that. We talked earlier about the McGregor versus Dustin fight.
Mm-hmm.
But like, who's going to be on the undercard?
I don't know.
The guys who are real impressive on Saturday night.
Well, obviously, but I don't know who it's going to be.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you watch these kind of cards, you're like, where are the ranked fighters? Where are the, whatever? Well, these are the guys who are going to be on the prelims or on the undercard of, like, big pay-per-views where, you're losing a ton of money to the guys at the top of the card.
Right.
So that's kind of how I like it. Like, Baeza, I mean, that dude is a dream for hardcore MMA guys. Like, he's got a really hard pace, good solid jab. Kind of reminds me of the Dirty Bird Means.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I had that 3-man parlay off the top. I think that's how we hold it.
I think that's it. I think you're right on that. I would have to agree with you. I've got it written down that way, so that's what I'm going to go with.
All right. But yeah, I mean, is there anything you want to talk about on the hockey side?
I want to talk about the NHL immediately.
Yeah. I know. I can see you've just been chomping at the bit.
I don't know if you watched the Canadiens versus the motherfucking Jets last night, but oh my Christ. So, Jake Evans was a player for the Montreal Canadiens. Goes down, right? Puck gets dumped deep into the Jets zone. So, Jets have their goalie pulled, so it's just a wide open net. Puck is behind the net. Jake Evans goes behind the net, grabs the puck, and curls it into the open net. What he does not see is Mark Sheffley from the other end of the fucking ice rink charging at 1,000 miles an hour. If you watch the backup camera and you see how hard he's skating, and don't get me wrong, Mark Sheffley he has eyes on the puck the whole time. He has eyes on the puck. It's not like he's aiming at Jake Evans to fuck him up by any means necessary. But here's what I do think happened. I think once he saw Jake Evans scoring the goal, I think he was like, fuck it, I'm here. And then just absolutely lit him up. I haven't seen a hit this hard in the playoffs in a very, very long fucking time. Like, I can't show the footage. I already checked it and it's copywritten, obviously. But
you were explaining to me on the last podcast that there's like a big difference between playoff hockey and like regular season.
100%.
Where in regular season you kind of green light guys.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you're there, you get lit. Like, it's over. But playoffs, it's a little more, I don't want to say kid gloves. But, everyone's kind of playing nice. May the best man win.
Well, it's because here's the difference. You aren't looking to injure anyone in the play. You don't. If you're the guy that injures, first of all, Jake Evans is a key player for the Canadiens. He's a very, very key player. Like, he's not the most key. I mean, he's not Shea Weber, but he's a key player. I mean, obviously, he's a 200-foot player. He's great. So, and they know that, and I don't think he was intentionally looking.
No, I don't think so either.
Hurt Mark.
I think it is what it is.
But first, so I don't know if you knew. So Mark Sheffley has been contacted already by the board of player safety, and they have a phone interview scheduled. So if it's a phone interview, the maximum amount of suspensions that you can get is 5 games. If it's in person, it can go way higher than that. But if it's phone, it can only go up to 5. So we're looking at Mark Sheffield is going to be gone for at least the next 5 games, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to do it just enough, just so that this series can be over. And so, like, if Mark Sheffield comes back, he's going to get fucked up. He's going to be headhunted by the Jets. It's not going to be good. So
Yeah,
I think
crazy hit.
I think the safe move is to keep Sheffield out until the next round, truly, because I think it's safer and it's probably appropriate, because truly, at the end of the day, you knew what you did. At the end of the day, it is charging. At the end of the day, you saw way back there that you weren't going to get that fucking puck. It wasn't yours. We've all been there. We wish we had it, but you didn't. It was 200 feet away, and Jake Evans already had it on his fucking stick. And by the time he had it in the net, it was like you had 10 feet, and he put on the brakes a little bit, but you could see him lower his shoulders, square him up, and just fucking clop. And he hit him in the upper chest head area, which is one of the worst areas to get hit because you get whiplash like a motherfucker. You get knocked out so quick doing that.
His head hit the ice so hard.
Yep, he was knocked out.
That was what I was looking at. Okay, let's see the whiplash, and his head hit the ice so badly. I mean, it's like, it is what it is, kind of. Like, obviously it was charging and everything, but like, who didn't have like a junior high basketball coach, which was like, if you're going to follow him or commit a foul, like, do it hard. Like, really make sure they don't get that and one.
Man,
you never had that basketball coach?
Oh, no, I do, but
this is wild.
Talking about. This is I don't know, man. This is a little different for me.
It's definitely different. Dude, he got hit so hard. He got
so he got a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. So he also, he's facing, the possible suspension. It's going to be a suspension because, it's a bad.
Dude, how many suspensions happened in the crowd when that happened? Dude, we were talking about that earlier before the podcast.
I forgot. Let me see how old Jake Evans is, because I'm pretty sure he's pretty young. I think he's still a teenager. Let me look.
Well, when you look that up, you want to touch a little bit about like what's going on between crowds coming back and
he was born
flights.
in 1997.
97? Dude, that means he's 23.
He's young.
He's 23, 24.
He's young.
My God.
His brain is mushy still. Your brain isn't done until you're like, what, 26, 27, dude, something like that?
That's crazy how young that dude is.
Poor guy. Hey, man, there's people who are born in 2000 who are in this bitch. Over 2000. Dude, there's people who are born post 9/11 who are doing the show already. Like, it's crazy.
That's so wild.
Anyway,
yeah, getting older.
We can talk about other things other than just Jake Evans, but if you have a chance to Google that image and check it out, you should definitely.
Do you have any hot takes on the NBA playoffs?
Oh, I want to talk to you because we were discussing. What were we discussing? The violence, the bullshit.
Yeah, the craziness.
We got to talk about the bullshit. Before we go there, I just want to talk about real quick. The Bruins and the Islanders play tonight, and that shit's tied up. Tampa Bay Lightning leads, obviously, over the Carolina Hurricanes because, duh. The Carolina Hurricanes were seeded number 1, but everyone knew their time was like that was okay. You had a fun regular season, cool, but you're not a playoff team, and we all know it. So stop pretending. The Habs and the Jets, obviously, Montreal's beating the Jets right now. What?
Just like, you're not a playoff team. Everyone knows. We'll move on.
It's true, dude. And then obviously here's the Knights and the Avalanche, which have been kick-ass games. If you aren't watching, like, those games are pimping as a motherfucker. They really are. Colorado is beating Colorado is pulling out just like a squeaker of a win every time. Just a fucking like in Little Rascals when he's like on the front of the car and his hair is like the point and that crosses the finish line and then they win. That is basically what Colorado's doing here over the Knights. And it's a great game. It's a great game. And so Colorado leads 2-0, but I still think the Bruins are going to win it all. That's my pick.
Yeah, I mean, I have no picks
Okay.
going on, but I know the Bruins. It's a trigger word for you.
It's a that's a trigger word.
Yeah. It really gets you going. You see the word Bruins on social media, and I'm like, oh, what'd Jake say?
Uh-oh. Someone said something mean, and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna shit in your mother's mouth and fucking No, I don't say shit like that, but I do really want to sometimes. What we're gonna move on to again? Oh, the NBA. Popcorn being dumped on motherfuckers. Some slurs. What else we got? What's going on? Fill me in.
Oh, water bottles being launched.
Fill me
fans. Okay, we had the one fan charge the court. I believe
yes,
during the
Blake Griffin.
Dude got laid out by security.
Yep.
Like hard and fast by security. Respect to that security officer.
Hardcore respect to that security officer.
Dude, people were on edge.
Good form for that security officer. Yeah, people are very much on edge, dude.
Like, I thought, like, we're kind of used to this behavior, like Black Friday, you know, like.
But it's like all the time now.
Seeing, you know, like, especially in America, like, we've got some international listeners here, but in America, like, Black Friday, we're used to seeing people get trampled.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
Old people die on Black Friday. That's just part of it.
Love of the game.
Yeah.
And we're not used to seeing it at our sporting events.
We're really not. Sporting events aren't that bad. I like in Europe. We have a big listener base in Germany, and I mean, you guys have soccer games like fucking crazy over there. I know, but that's not normal for us to have fights in the streets after a game. It's just not.
Or like a player gets carted off with an injury, and they're like dumping popcorn on him.
Yeah, that's so unacceptable. That's so unacceptable.
Using racial slurs at the dude's family in the front row.
That's so unacceptable. Gosh. It's so ridiculous. I mean, fucking seriously. It's a joke.
I mean, and then you can, add that to like Southwest Airlines, and I think Delta too. Both of them are like cutting off alcohol, and there's been like a massive uptick in like airport fights.
Dude, have you seen? Yeah, airline. Well, it's because airlines. People don't like being told what to do. They just don't. Especially Americans. We fucking do not like being told what to do. So if you're being asked to put a mask on, some people immediately in the back of their head have this fucking what? You're gonna tell me what to fucking do? I am Dan Smith, and I will not be told what to do. And those are the type of people who then start fights. And then that one lady knocked the front teeth out of that lady's mouth. There was an airline. What are their names? The people. I really feel stupid right now. The airline waitresses who walk up and down the aisle, and they deliver food and offer you. You don't know what
the stewardesses.
A stewardess. Thank you.
Yeah. I thought you were like looking for specific people.
No. Just the title. And yeah, the stewardess. And so she's just like, ma'am, you have to sit down. You can't just get up while we're taxiing. The plane is literally moving on the ground right now. This is the most dangerous part of the whole thing. Literally the most dangerous part of the whole time that you're in an airplane is when it's moving on the ground. And lady's like, no, I'm getting up. And then punches the fucking stewardess in the mouth. Knocks her 2 front teeth out. Literally gone. This lady has to get fake teeth because some dumb bitch in seat 21C can't fucking sit down for an extra 5 minutes. The door is not going to open any faster because you got up. It's not. Fucking curb your self-importance. You're not that important. You're just not. You're another sardine packed in this fucking tube with wings like the rest of us. That's what we don't matter. We all bought basic economy. We're on a CRJ 200. This plane barely flies, okay? Sit the fuck down. God damn it, dude. That shit pisses me off. It's just there's no respect in you at all. Zero respect.
Add flying to your list of trigger words.
Well, I am a pilot. That's probably why.
I know. That's it.
If I was flying a plane and like I hear that my stewardesses are getting fucking assaulted. Like, I'm just trying to fly this goddamn air taxi here. This is literally a bus with wings. I mean, I'm trying to back it in, basically. That's what we're doing here. And you can't, Jesus Christ, get off. It's basically the city bus is becoming the airlines. Like, what you see on a city bus, how everyone just starts doing crazy shit, it's happening on airlines now. We need to make tickets more expensive again.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be that guy, but Jesus Christ. Not everyone should be able to fly, and I don't mean to be that other guy, but not everyone should be able to come to Vegas because seriously, because I drive Uber out here sometimes, and dude, the passengers that I'm picking up are getting worse and worse and fucking worse. They are so entitled. Never leave a tip, ever, not once. Want the world. Let me pick a song, and then leave their trash in your car. Get out. Sometimes they'll throw their drink at your car if they're drunk, just for the fun of it. Like, that's who we're dealing with. Leave, and it's like, oh, why don't we have any drivers anymore in Vegas? Well, gas is $3.75. We're not paid enough. Nobody tips, and our cars are getting trashed, and we're treated like shit. Those are 5 off the top of my head. I could come up with some more if you give me some time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when we said people were on edge, it's like, am I about to get into a fist fight at, like, Marshall's?
Well,
like,
did that guy from Maverick
waiting line?
Helicopters. I told you about that guy from Maverick Helicopters, the shuttle driver, who punched me in the face because he wanted to, like, go through the Uber zone.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Dude, it's just so crazy. Like, I don't know, to see a water bottle, like a full water bottle, just get launched across, like, a basketball arena, like, what is even happening right now?
A water bottle just flying through the court and into the face of a player. Like, unacceptable.
It definitely missed.
Well, right,
luckily,
but you know what I
like,
mean.
What is going on?
You know where they were aiming. Just because the guy sucks at aiming doesn't mean his intentions weren't still shit.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I mean, the other funny thing about like the NBA playoffs is LeBron is like treating an injury right now, and everyone's kind of laughing at him because there was a screenshot of him playing Madden, like, well, he's out on injury, so there like must have been an Xbox in the back, and he's like playing Xbox while his team's playing in the playoffs.
Dude. Let's talk LeBron. Let's talk
LeBron.
Right
now, just playing Madden.
Let's talk LeBron. The whole strip club situation where he got the chicken nuggets. Let's talk. We gotta get LeBron figured out here.
Yeah, I mean, go on.
Adam Silver is like, LeBron, I thought you said you would listen. And LeBron's like, bitch, you thought you were the commissioner of the NHL? I'm like, I bring the money into this fucking league.
It's LeBron's league, and he knows it.
Oh, of course. It was Jordan's league, and it got handed down to Kobe, and then it got handed down to LeBron. And that's where we're at. That's what it is. You can talk about your commissioners, but the commissioners don't make the money for the leagues.
Well, it's like when there was going to be the holdout after, different racial violence and, themes throughout the country that they were just going to cancel the NBA, which I actually understand a lot. Like, a lot of people are like, what do you mean they're entitled they're athletes, they're acting entitled, this and that. It was like, well, they're literally wearing jerseys that say Black Lives Matter. And it's like,
right.
Yeah. Like, we don't have to get into that, but I mean, they've got like vote on the back of their jersey.
Right.
Like, nobody's taking their actual name. Like, even LeBron doesn't have like James on the back of his jersey.
Exactly.
But apparently they had a phone call between all the Players Association had a phone call, and there's this hilarious like legendary conversation between LeBron and Carmelo, where LeBron's like, we're holding out, and Carmelo's like, screw you, LeBron, we're playing. And they're going on and on about like how they're going to get paid, and because there was like a conversation about like if they did scrap the playoffs, there would be like a mandatory like back-to-back season in Disney over the next year. So I don't know exactly the details of that, but yeah, I mean, it definitely was LeBron's league, and he was kind of upset that the Milwaukee Bucks kind of like took center stage that night.
Yep. Hey man, we got to have our moment too. I like the Bucks a lot.
I'm a fan of the Bucks.
I have their jersey. I've got their hat.
Dimensional.
I mean, I don't know shit about them. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to even give a fuck. But like, I do like going to their games and watching them play. I don't care if they win or lose, but it's fun watching. It's good for the city when they win. So I guess I prefer them to win. Hey, what are you doing?
I just know on principle you can't have like one
this?
guy doing 40 minutes a night.
Does anyone know what this is? I think it's a raccoon. Jesus. All right, man. Well, let's get this episode wrapped up here. We got
wrap this up.
We got something to do after this. So,
so
thanks for listening. We'll be back very shortly to bring you another episode. We aren't going to wait anymore like we did last time. Our bad.
No, we have our bread and butter to get to, the Paul brothers.
All right. Paul brothers coming up next. Isn't it funny how we talk about Jake Paul knows that my name's Jake, your name is Paul? I think that's
Who would
funny.
have thought?
Okay, I'll stop now. All right, we'll catch you later.